You are in a museum of iconic structures. You approach a model of the leaning tower of Pizza. That's not a typo. It's not a typo. The leaning tower of Pizza. MC Hammer is standing guard.
Hold up.
There's a sign that reads, "Can't touch this." MC Hammer whispers in your ear, "Just this one time, you can touch it." What do you do?
Of course I'm gonna touch it.
Okay, he actually doesn't work there, so now you got arrested.
Dang it!
Why would you touch it?
Because if he says you can touch it one time.
You gonna listen to him?
Yeah.
If MC Hammer tells you to jump off a bridge, are you gonna do it too? Just because you can?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, it depends on how high.
Very, very high.
Okay, then I won't do it.
Very high, like at least 5 feet.
That's fine.
Okay.
Okay, then I won't jump. Then I won't touch it. But it's too late. I'm arrested.
Oh, too late. Yeah, you got arrested. Yep, sorry.
Dang it.
Too late.
Oh, fudge.
That was a good warm up.
I like that. Okay.
Yeah. You know, just trying
You were
to
really thinking. Or
yeah, trying to test your brain, trying to see like where you're at, like are you
Yeah.
gonna like, you know, throw a fit.
I guess I'm easily influenced.
Yeah,
So I'm
but
just
I don't blame you. If someone tell me don't touch it and then someone let me touch it, then
Yeah.
you
It's
know,
like
it's MC Hammer. You know, I'm just saying.
But he usually says, "You can't touch this."
Yeah, but for once he actually let you touch it.
Yeah.
What is he asking you to touch? I don't know. Ew, no, you sick, you pervert, really?
The boobies of the statue.
Ew, his boobies or someone else's boobies?
No,
What?
the statue's boobies.
Oh.
Whatever, the statue has boobies. I don't know. Just touch it. Touch whatever.
Yeah. Just, if MC Hammer lets you touch it, just touch it. I
Yeah,
guess.
I would touch it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, I wanna thank you for being the guest of Tony's Temple. You know, this is episode 15, and at Tony's Temple, what we do is we talk a little bit about nothing, we talk a little bit about everything, and a whole lot of. Wait, I got it backward. No, we talk a lot about nothing. We talk a lot about everything and a little bit of something. Yeah, I'm trying to get better at these quotes, but like that's supposed to be like our thing. I'll get it better next time.
Well, it's an honor to be here.
Yeah.
On your podcast finally.
So how you been?
I've been great.
Been good?
You know, busy with the kids.
Yes.
And, you know, working a lot.
Yeah. Adult life.
Adulting.
Yeah.
Definitely, you know, when you're younger, you're just kind of like, I can't wait to grow up. But then when you're growing up, you're just kind of like, I hate this. I want to be a kid again.
Well, I mean, it has its pros and cons. You know, like I when I was younger, I was like, oh, you know, when I'm older, I can do all this, I can do all this stuff. But what I didn't realize is it all comes with a cost. Either time or like money is always going to be an issue. So you can do whatever you want, but like there's always it costs something.
Yes,
is the point.
exactly.
So yeah, with somebody like you got your handful of all this other stuff. So I kind of get it.
Yes, always juggling something.
Yeah.
Always doing something. It doesn't.
Like this?
Yes.
Yeah, like this. I appreciate you coming here.
Yes.
You know.
So-
Finally, I finally got time to like do this podcast. I've been waiting for like a hot minute because like for Tony's Temple, I'm like a men's advocate, right? I like to talk to men and like see what their issues are and like what's going on in their minds. So like when you talk to us, you get to see like, oh, these are guys being honest. This is what they're talking about. This is what they're thinking about. They're thinking about aliens and conspiracy and like that's what men by nature. I don't know. That's from my experience. That's what we are, but. Today is going to be a different flavor, so now I have you, and I know that like you're passionate about relationships just like I am. So I noticed the notes.
Yes. So
I too have notes.
nice.
Yeah. Do you want to go first? Because we kind of prepared a couple of things. So the theme was what is it? What are some things that women need to know about men? And what are some things that men need to know about women, right? And so we get to tackle from like both sides of like the coin.
Yes.
All right. Would you like to have the pleasure of going first?
Sure. So I wanted to talk about red flags.
Okay.
And then like when you're first dating somebody early on, like what do you see as the red flags? For women, we notice some things, and that dating is just really different.
Different, yes.
Very
Especially
different.
the older we get. Not only the older we get, it's just the generation that we're into. So that's twofold.
Everything's online now, rather than meeting in person. But some people are fortunate enough to meet in person, like through mutual friends, and it just works.
Yeah.
Like the person I'm talking to right now, it just worked out that way.
Yeah.
And then meeting online it's hard.
Yeah.
And then you meet weirdos sometimes, but sometimes it works.
Yeah.
And it makes it easier. But there are a lot of red flags when you meet a new person sometimes. Or there might be no red flags. There might be green flags. But it's rare.
Yeah.
It is rare.
Right.
But the first red flag I would say is when a guy doesn't open doors for you. That's what I look for.
Okay.
So like in my past experience with my past relationships, I never had a man open the doors for me. Not really. Like they'd be like, oh, she can do it herself. I've had a man tell me, I don't do that because I don't want to lie to you in the beginning, so you can open your own door. And
how does that make any sense?
That's just how he was. He didn't like opening doors. Other than like if you were going into a restaurant, he would open the door. He would open doors for other people.
Okay.
But if it's your car door, he wouldn't open it.
NANI?
So that's just how it was.
Okay.
And then you know women are capable.
Yeah, there you go.
Women are capable of opening their own doors,
right.
carrying their own stuff. But do we like to do it? Some women they don't really like. I don't like it. I'm just kind of like, I like when a guy will open the door.
You like to feel like a lady and act like a lady,
yes.
and like it's actually feeling inspired. Not inspiring, but it feels good.
Yes.
To get into your femininity and like be a badass about it, right?
Yeah, because like I can do my own stuff. Like
right.
I can open the door, I can open a jar, I can do these things. But I do like when a man will be like, "You got that, babe?" Or you
right.
Or I can do it for you. And I'm like, oh, that's awesome. Thank you. It makes me feel good. It makes me feel like you respect me.
Right.
We're on the same respectable level. Like.
Okay.
And I see you like, I respect you after that too. So it goes both ways. It's reciprocated in both ways.
Right.
You know?
Okay. I'm glad you brought this up because like I was thinking about this the other day. So like in a long-term relationship, like what are some things that like guys are looking for in women, and I just now noticed that women are looking for the same thing.
Yeah.
But the commonality is their life is always going to have bullshit, no matter who you are. But if you have someone else to help you out with the bullshit, so you don't have to deal with it, it's a little bit better. Just like for you, if a man opens the door, you can do all that by yourself. You can do everything. But if someone else does something, that's really freaking great. Like for me, I can plan a vacation easily if I have to. But if I have someone else that can help me out, someone that can like be my support,
you can do it together.
Yeah, and that's the point. Like it's bullshit in life that you don't want to deal with. If someone is willing to help you out, dude, like that's one of the trick just to like, secure the bag or
yeah. Like most of the time, you don't want to do things by yourself all the time. Obviously, some stuff you have to do like independent wise,
right?
But you don't have to do it alone. Sometimes you can be like, hey, can you help me?
Right.
You can communicate in that aspect, or you can tell them like, or sometimes the guy already knows, and that's even nice. Yeah, sometimes I feel like, okay,
what elaborate
well, the person I'm talking to, he just knows, like before I say it, he's already doing it.
Okay.
Like if I'm like, oh, can you hand me something like this? He's already handing it to me before.
Right.
I don't know if it's like a mind reader thing, but we just level out that way. Like, and then we help each other, and it feels good, and then so it's a healthy relationship.
Okay.
You
know what? I to go back to your statement earlier, where you were saying that like you didn't have anyone open the door doing all this gentleman stuff. From my personal experience, every girl I ever dated said the exact same thing. Like, all the guys they've dated never opened door for them, never did these gentleman stuff, never like, be a gentleman, pretty much. And it blows my mind because like for some reason it came instinctively just to like, okay, I gotta do this, and like all the gentleman stuff, and apparently is a lot rarer than I initially thought, because like I thought what I had was like everybody does it, but no, apparently not.
Not everybody does it.
Yeah, surprisingly, and like that blew my mind, and I don't know.
And it's just rare, and it kind of sucks. Like you want to find that in a person or like your partner. You hope that. And then when they don't do it, you just kind of like, it kind of makes you feel disappointed. But then you get used to it. You do. Because you're just like, you're just like, all right, this is what it is. I chose this person. I stick with this person. Or if this is in the beginning and you don't like that about this person, you can just drop it and go to the next one. But if it's like later on in the line, you get complacent.
Right.
And then you get used to it, and then they stop.
Question. At this phase, are you dating or are you married? Because it matters. It matters.
I don't know how to answer that.
Because if you're married, like, even if you feel like your relationship is rocky, even if you feel like your life is getting boring and whatever, like, recognize that as the problem and tackle it together and deal with it, instead of like, oh my god, this person bores me, or this person doesn't do this anymore. It gives me a reason to leave. And I'm a huge advocate for marriage. I'm extremely against divorce, like at all costs. But there are always going to be cases where it's like, okay, that makes sense for the person to leave. But in most cases, that's not.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. So like, if you're not married, then like I guess it's not really that important. But when you are married, like you change your role from just like dating somebody to like committing to all the bullshit that comes with marriage. Being with someone for so long, of course, is gonna get like, you know, eating the same thing, eating chocolate every single day gets old. But you have to like spice it up, you know, like your relationship and whatever you do in it is your responsibility, in a sense.
That's like one of the topics I'm going to talk to you later about too.
Okay.
But it's just like, if you're married, yes, you try to work it out with that person, your partner. You would want the best, but not every partner will want to work with you.
Okay.
Then the marriage will fall apart,
right?
Because one person stops trying,
right?
And then it takes two to tango, like they say.
Yeah.
You know. So unfortunately, that happens, and you get used to it.
Well, that's why we vet. That's why we vet the people that come to our lives, right?
Yeah.
So just because someone comes up to you doesn't mean like you're gonna like commit everything to them. You know, you have to get to know them and then like kind of feel them out, kind of vibe, you know.
But even like relationships that you like, say you've been with that person for 2 years,
okay,
and you're still like, oh, I'm dating this person, but I'm not, and he's my boyfriend, she's my girlfriend, whatever. But you're already in that relationship. You're so far in. It's been 2 years. Sometimes people will just stay just to deal with it because they don't want to start over. It's harder to start over sometimes.
It is.
So they stick with it.
Right.
But then there's people that are like, F this, I'm done.
Right.
And they will just leave.
Okay.
And that's why we have therapy and all that stuff too. And people have friends to talk to about stuff like that.
So I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
But let me get your opinion on this. So this actually happened. Not in my personal life, but I heard this lady. She was in a relationship, a 9-year relationship. 9 years. Not 9 years of dating, 9 years of marriage. Okay. So I don't know how long they dated in the past, but they were married for 9 years. She left him because of bad sex. You see what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. Sometimes people just leave without a good reason.
Well, is she explaining why, like, the sex is so bad? Like, are they working, like, she could try new things with that person to make it better?
I don't know. Yeah. But the point, that's what I'm saying. If that is the problem in the relationship, then it is also your responsibility to fix it, because, like, yeah, you know, it's called commitment for a reason, like the good and the bad.
I think that's why, like, some people will stop trying and then they'll be like, all right, I'm going to go to the next thing. Or they stay in that relationship. Some people will stay in that relationship and cheat and try to find somebody. Yeah,
because they're lacking something in a relationship that someone else can offer. Yeah. Whether it could be like emotional support, you know, someone that's physically there for them, mentally, emotionally there for them. So yeah.
But you know, I am totally against cheating.
I know that.
Hate
I know
cheating.
that. Yeah.
Like, if you don't want to be with me, you don't want this relationship to work anymore, and you stop trying, just break up with me. Just spare me the misery.
I said that in the past to my relationship as well. Like, I
don't cheat on
cheating.
me.
No.
Just leave.
Yes.
Just
please.
be done with me. You know, like, just tell me, because it's just kind of like you don't respect me enough to just let me know.
Right.
You kind of just be like, all right, I'm just gonna cheat because I want you at the same time, or I kind of want you at the same time, but I also want something else. So I don't really respect you. That's what you're saying to me. You're like, you're nothing after that. Yeah. And you're like, oh, it hurts. You know? Yeah. It sucks. So rather just cut it off, cut it loose, rip it off like a Band-Aid. Right. And just leave. Right. Yeah. So fuck cheating. Yeah. So I don't advocate cheating either. Yeah. It's not good. Yeah. What's the next one on your agenda? Love bombing. Have you heard of love bombing? You told me like 5 seconds ago before the podcast started. Yes. Honestly, I got the brain cells like a gerbil. I can't remember what all it is exactly. So love bombing is like say me and you first go on a date, right? Okay. We're dating, and we've dated for like a week or two, and then I automatically is like, hey, we should go on a big vacation together. We should go like Dubai, and like I get to know you, and then I already say I love you to you right away. And just like, you know, you're just love bombing. You're just giving him flowers, you give him chocolates, you like all at the beginning. and then you're just showing how much you love that person so much, but you barely even know me. I'd be like, I don't, like, if you were to do that to me, I'd be like, you don't really know me.
Right.
That's
it's
already
weird.
an automatic red flag. You're like, why are you giving me stuff so
Right.
soon in the relationship? You don't really know me. How can you love me?
Yeah. Sounds like a simp.
Yeah, a little bit. It's like, what? Wait.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
I think part of the factor is it's too easy.
Yeah.
You know, especially when you find someone like it's different for everybody. But I've heard studies of like if someone is too easy and does not propose a challenge for you, as a woman, you feel like you can just walk over them. And like he's not somebody you can respect if he can just gives you everything, and then like you feel like he's not that great of a man if you can get everything from him that easily.
Yeah.
You know, so you kind of see the value in that person, and then like, but the weird thing is it does work for some cases, because there are certain couples out there that know each other for like 6 months, boom, instantly marry after that.
I feel like that's so soon though. I don't know.
Is it? How long does it take to get to know somebody?
Oh, that's a good question.
How long?
I feel like 6 months. Just about 6 months.
Right. So
you get to know somebody, you can fall in love.
Right.
Like, but I don't think the first 2 weeks.
No.
No way.
Right.
I've been love bombed before.
Okay.
And like, I think it took about 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and he was already saying that I love you, and then I was just kind of like olive juice.
Oh, I get it.
Couldn't say it.
Right.
And then I told him I can't say it, and he was
Right.
giving me flowers, bouquets, and all this stuff in the beginning. But then, you know, when you get stuck into it, it stops, and then you don't get it as often.
I feel like there's like a power imbalance.
Yeah.
Right.
They do it to
Right.
get you.
Right.
And then once they get you, they're like, I don't need to do it anymore.
Yeah.
I'm done, you know?
Right.
Yeah, like,
So I caught the fish, so I stopped trying.
yeah, now I can stop trying.
Yeah.
And then girls know that now, and they see it now. So in the beginning, they're like, oh, automatic, red flag. Like, my mom even said it. She was like, if you start dating a new guy and he brings you flowers, like the first day or two, you know it's fake. Don't do it.
What?
Don't be with that person.
What?
Yeah, like, and now I'm kind of like, don't buy me flowers. Just don't buy me flowers yet. Buy me flowers later on. Like, say, like...
Okay. What if it's just like a couple of roses, not like a whole gigantic ass garden of flowers? Just like a little, okay.
If you give me a rose, like,
You know?
okay, even like fake flowers, like, okay, this would be cute.
Who the hell gives fake flowers?
No, hear me out.
Other than my mom, I mean.
Hear me out.
Okay.
If somebody gave me flowers that are fake,
Okay.
or like at least one, then I'd be like, oh, that can be used, like, okay, this is cliche, okay, to be used if we get married. Like, okay, if we get married, I'm going to use it in my bouquet because it's not going to die.
Okay.
It's a flower that's going to live forever because it's a fake flower.
Girl, that's just you. Nobody else thinks like that. Nobody thinks that far
I
ahead.
think that's so cute.
It is cute,
I'm a simp for romantic. Okay?
Oh my God.
I am such a romantic, but I'm just kind of like that would be so cute. Or
It
like
is.
give me Lego flowers that
I'm
will
saying,
like last
okay,
forever.
look.
you know?
All I'm saying, okay, I see where you're coming from. It could work, but I would not recommend that to everybody because not everyone's gonna get that correlation. You know, it's not a common enough thing. And you know, there are certain things that people do like differently. Like I love Buc-ee's, for example. I'm not wearing it right now, but Buc-ee's is like a gas station.
Yeah.
With a little beaver, cutest thing ever. You know, but the point is, I was drawing. I'm using Buc-ee as a correlation because I know this couple that like they went on a date, whatever, and they went to this like souvenir shop and it was like a moose. Right, so they bought the moose, and then like the later on the relationship goes, they just keep on collecting moose related shit. That was like their shtick. That was like their thing. You know, that kind of like, oh, if I ever wanted to remember something sweet about this guy or this lady, oh, you know, I remember that time I got the moose. Now the moose is everywhere.
Yeah.
You know, so you have to build it up.
Yeah, but then you have like sayings that you say to each other when you are dating somebody, and you start to like them more and more, and end up falling in love with them.
Right.
And then you just have like little sayings, little things that you know, and then in the future when you get married, you use that, you know, if you do get married. I'm just saying. But most of the time, I'm like, all right, I'm either dating you to marry you, or there's no point in dating you. That's my opinion.
No,
because I'm not the age.
Right.
You know, like.
Right. So I'm actually on the same page with you on this because I was thinking about like there's a lot of correlation between like relationship, a job, and an education. But I'll leave the education out for now. So it's kind of like a job in a sense where like there are certain people there out there that just work. Right, so they get job after job. If this job doesn't work, I jump to the next job, whatever. So that's their mentality going into like working for a company. But then there are other people that go look for careers. I want to get into this company. I want to be like, I'm here, committed. I want to develop myself. I want to help the company out. I run into the mentality of like I'm here for at least a couple of years, if not like as long as I possibly can.
Yeah.
So the company that I work in, there are people that's been there for like 20 years plus. Right, so that correlate with like relationship, because there are certain people out there, especially this generation, they date in short term. They go in thinking like, oh, I'm not gonna marry this guy. I don't have any intention of marrying this guy, so I don't really put in the effort, compared to someone else that wants to date somebody and have the intention of marriage. And like, okay, if shit goes wrong and I'm just dating this guy, I can just bounce. But if someone wants to marry, hey, some shit go wrong with this guy, okay, I got to make sure I get this shit to work.
At that point,
right?
I think it's commitment issues. They can't commit.
Yeah.
So they're just like, I'm just going to... And men and women will do that sometimes because they're like, oh, I'm getting too close. Especially if you get hurt way too often in the past.
Attachment theory, childhood trauma with your parents.
Yes.
Trauma
is with the parents. It always regulates going
Damn
back.
It, Mom! You
fucked
me up!
It goes back to your childhood.
Right.
Anything that you... it's called like attachment something.
Attachment theory. Attachment trauma. That's pretty much what it is, yeah.
Yeah, and then when they get too close, they're just like, oh, shit, no. I'm gonna back up.
Yeah.
I'm scared. I don't want to get too attached to this person because I don't want to get hurt. Because my parents did that to me, and they pulled away, and you don't want to deal with that. So that's why you jump.
So there's two things. There's anxious attachment, and there's avoidant attachment.
Yes.
Right? So an avoidant would be like, let's say that you're a child. So this all starts from childhood, right? So let's say you're a baby, and you're crying, and when children or babies cry, they're calling for love from their parents. So when the parents aren't there, the more they cry, they realize this isn't helping. Like I can't depend on my parents to soothe my anxiety. So now every time I do see them, I don't expect them to soothe my anxiety. So like I will push them away. Right? So that carries on all the way up to our adulthood. And and that's how you get like messed up people.
Yes.
Yeah. And I've been saying this for a while, but therapy seems to solve a lot of issues. I figure out my issues with my mom and like why I became kind of fucked up like I am. But everyone's fucked up in some type of way.
Yeah.
Right. So, yeah.
So sorry.
It's okay. But when you were talking about red flag earlier, you just remind me of a story.
Okay.
All right. So I was out shopping with some homies, right? And I was just walking down the aisles. I already got what I wanted to buy, so I was just glancing around, not really having any sense of like urgency or doing anything. And then all of a sudden, I saw this old lady sitting on a wheelchair across from me, from on the other side of the aisle, right? And I took a glance over the side, and I saw this redhead chick. It's like bona fide redheads, kind of southern, She got a little Daisy Dukes, and she got a little tattoo, and then like she was cute. She was cute, right? I was like, I wanted to raise up on her, but her mom or her grandma in the wheelchair is sitting there. I was like, man, that's kind of weird. I don't want to go up on her, and whatever, right? And so I left it alone. So I continued shopping with my homies, and I saw her, pushing the grandmother on the wheelchair, just walking around. And I pointed to my boys like, yo, that's the girl I was talking about. That's the girl. And then like we would start talking about like, red flag or whatever. And then like I had to like pause and look at this girl. I was like, wait, I can already tell a couple of red flags with this lady, man. She seemed to like push her grandma around and talk behind her back.
Oh my goodness.
You know what I'm saying?
Wait.
Well, that was right.
Oh my goodness. Talk about puns.
That's a good one?
I like that.
Yeah,
like
yeah. That's a good one. Yeah.
Okay. Speaking of more about red flags, what I wanted to talk about was calling their ex their best friend. Yeah, because I've had a past relationship that did that.
All right.
And it was like a ex-baby mama.
Okay.
And he was like, she's my best friend. What are you going to do about it? Like, with certain things I would say to me, like, well, you're too close with her because, like, it's okay to talk to her because you have a kid together.
Anything beyond that.
Yeah, but why are you calling her your best friend? You just don't I don't know. For me, I'm like, don't be friends with your ex.
Right.
You can have kids with them, and then you can just be like, all right, I'm going to co-parent with my ex, but he's not my best friend. He's not my friend. We are co-parenting.
Right.
And it's all about the kids. We have no friendship after that. Like, some people are like, I'm friends with my ex. I'm like, I just can't do it.
Right.
I feel like that's wrong if you're dating somebody and, like, I don't know, like, some people are, like, different about that. It's a very rocky topic, because some people are like, oh, I'm still friends with my ex and yada yada yada, but I'm just kind of like, I don't think that they should be your best friend.
Right.
Like, your partner should be your best friend.
Okay.
Not not your ex.
Right.
What do you think about that?
Yeah, I'm on the same boat, but I'll go even further.
Yeah.
I don't think that grown men and women should try to be friends in that level. Is that controversial?
I don't think so.
Give me 1 second.
Okay.
I gotta make sure this thing doesn't die.
Yeah. Please don't die.
Yeah, sorry about that. Okay, but I was thinking, like, I don't think men and women should try to be friends.
If you're dating somebody, right?
Yes.
Or if you're
especially if you're married.
Yeah.
Right.
And if I feel like if we're married and I have a problem with it, you should fix it. You should be able to talk to me and be able to talk to me about it and fix it with me, not fight about it. You know?
Right.
Because it becomes a problem. It can be a big problem.
So it's one of those things, like, you sweep the ice underneath the rug, and then all of a sudden you got mold. Right. So you can't sweep away a little problem like that. It'll grow.
Yeah.
But to back to my point, I was thinking, like, if I feel like men and women being friends will cause more issues than not.
Yes.
Right. So that kind of goes to what I want to talk about.
Okay.
Right. So the topic is, what are some things that women need to know about men? Right. So along the same line with, like, why men and women shouldn't be friends. Have you ever heard this term called beta male orbiter?
No, I have not.
All right. So a beta male orbiter is pretty much like a beta male that hangs around specifically a person of interest, usually like a woman, right? And he doesn't have the spine to ask her out. Right, so he's just, like, being friendly with her, being her emotional support, trying to be there for her all the time, but she would never ask him out. And then, like, he knows it, but he's waiting for the perfect moment. She's gonna be enlightened. She's gonna see how great of a man I am. And then, like, once she breaks up with her boyfriend, I'll be there to sweep her off her legs and, and all this shit. And like, they're like another level of simp. Yeah. But, like, every attractive woman, or at least I'll openly say this, but most attractive women will have, like, a beta male orbiter that is just friends with you, and, like, thinking that they will one day be able to sleep with you, and then, like, yeah, that's pretty much what a beta male orbiter is. Yeah. And the reason why I bring this up is it's bad for the woman, and it's also bad for the man that's orbiting. Right. For the man, if my friend told me that he has interest in a girl that has no interest back in him, why the fuck are you wasting your time with this lady? Like, what do you want from her? Because you want something more than just a friendship, but you're just waiting around, just, like, closing doors for other opportunity for other women that want to get to know you, for just so one day you can get with this lady. Yeah. Like, that is like a low level man. And don't do this. But I if anyone wants to try this, like, if you are a woman, or actually it doesn't matter what gender you are, but okay, if you think that you have a beta male orbiter, right? Here's how you test it. You give him a call saying, I'm horny, let's fuck. And, like, if a self-respecting guy that is not a beta male orbiter, he would say, okay, you're drunk, go home, talk to me tomorrow, what the fuck are you doing? Get the fuck out of my face. But if he is a beta male orbiter, he's waiting for that moment, he's gonna say it. He's gonna fucking say it, and that's how you test. And the thing is, like, this is extremely common for, like, younger guys, because younger men don't have the power, the leverage to, I guess, request that much of a woman. But the older you get, like, I can turn women down like that. Like, I don't deal with it. I don't think that men and women should be friends. So, like, I follow by my own code, because I'm pretty sure if I get married one day, I don't want any woman to get in between me and my wife. Yeah. So I think most men agree with what I'm saying, but, like,
Although,
so, yeah.
I'm your best friend. So
you're different. You're family.
Like,
You're different. You're different.
Okay.
We're family. We know each other for, like, whatever, and then, like, you.
And most of the time, I like your past peoples that you've dated. I'm just like, okay, I like them. I can vibe with them, you know?
Yeah.
And I'm okay. Because I'm like, I love you, man.
Yeah.
So it's just like, I don't know. I look out for you.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, like we're family, and I have nothing but love for you.
Yeah.
And I'm really glad that you're finally here, and then we actually like talk about all these crazy shenanigans. But to circle back what I was trying to say earlier, it's bad for the man.
Yeah.
It's also bad for the woman, because let's say that you, a woman, have a beta male orbiter, right?
Yeah.
And you have a husband or a boyfriend. He is not gonna like you hanging around with this guy. He is not gonna appreciate you hanging around this bozo, because like game recognized game. Yeah. So if you know that these kind of guys exist, you're more aware of it, and you kind of know what they're up to, and then like it's not good for you as a woman to have these kind of guys around.
Yeah.
There's a difference between like having a genuine friend and like a simp and a male ordered, and the difference is like they're trying to fuck you, but they can't because they're kind of spineless.
But they don't tell you. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I feel like, why wouldn't you say anything? Because you're ultimately hurting yourself.
That's what I'm saying.
You are.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that would suck.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'd be like, all right, move on. This isn't working.
Right. So like,
or say something.
So if you have a beta male orbiter, you are enabling it, you're pretty much torturing this guy.
Yeah.
Because like he wants something from you, and you're literally never gonna give it to him. Yeah. But at the same time, it's his own fault for lingering around. Mm-hmm. So in those kind of situations, you have to tell him like, look, I know you have interest in me. I don't have an interest in you. Look, I care about you, but it's best if we go our separate ways. And that's it. Yeah. So it's best for both people.
But some women don't know.
But that's what we're talking about right now.
Yeah, no.
And that's the topic.
Oblivious. I don't know if anybody like I'd be like, I don't know if you like me unless you tell me. And if you do like me, then I'll be like, all right, maybe we can process it. Or I'd be like, sorry, I don't feel the same. We move on. We can either be friends. Mm-hmm. Like I've turned down guys where I'm just kind of like, So
keep in mind, the older you get, the less likely you'll see it. So it's definitely a lot more prominent in like the younger generation. Yeah. So not saying that it doesn't happen around our age, but I'm just saying it's not as common. Mm-hmm. Right?
Yeah. I don't know. It's not like, I don't know.
Yeah.
It is very. It's a tough world out there now. Just kind of like it's gnarly.
Yeah.
You see some crazy stuff in relationships.
Yeah.
Sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't.
You know what? I heard this lady, this girl, I was at a bar with her. Mm-hmm. Right? She was telling me that she had this experience using Tinder. No, I'm sorry. It was her friend that had this issue on Tinder where she went on a date with some guy. Everything seems cool. Right. And then all of a sudden he called her up saying like, hey, can I stay at your house? My baby mama threw all my stuff outside the house. And she was like, you had a baby mama? You need a place to stay? Why the fuck are you calling me? And like, I just met you through Tinder. I don't know anything about you. Like,
Red
what
flag.
the fuck? Like,
Red
what?
flag.
That's what I'm saying. So she was like, nope.
I'd be like, no.
Yeah.
This is bad.
Be gone, Satan.
Yes.
No. Yeah. Oh, I mean, wait. Not this. This. Yeah.
Holy water. Yeah. I don't want that at all. Like, oh, well, all right, my best friend.
Okay.
She went to a date on Tinder, but she's happily in a relationship now that she met through Tinder. Okay. But they are happy. But she did meet this one guy, and she went to his house because he was like, oh, come over to my house. I'm having a party. And
a party?
A party. She went. I don't know why, but she went. And he said, like, she told me they were outside and there were Hispanics playing their music or whatever outside, and he got angry and was like naming like racist terms and took a pistol and shot it up in the air 3 times and told them to shut off the music. He said some bad words and said a lot of bad slang at them. She was like, nope, not today. And that was her first time meeting them. Like, he was his friends, him, and she was like, I gotta go. And he was like, why, you're leaving already? And she was just like, I have to go. And she got in her car, like, blocked his number.
Why are you scared of me?
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck? Like, you carry around a gun? What the fuck's wrong? What?
And shooting up rounds in the air.
Right.
And she met this guy on, like, I think it was Tinder or Bumble or whatever. Mm-hmm. And then I was like, girl, never go to somebody's house. You just don't do that. That's scary because you don't know what you're walking into. And that is definitely something that women should know. Like, women and men.
Right.
Like, meeting at a house is different. Meeting at a public place, like, I'll meet you for coffee.
Right.
Because I don't know you.
Right.
Like, I don't know you that well. And, like, I've been on dates where a guy will ask me too. He's just like, so are we splitting this, or am I paying, or how are we doing this? This one guy asked me if I'm sleeping with him.
Oh.
And then he'll pay.
Oh no!
Like,
you don't
no.
say it.
But then it happens.
Okay.
It happens. I've seen it on TikTok too. Like other women will talk about it. They'll be like, "Are we splitting this check?" If you're a man, I feel like you should handle it. But like the next one, like when we go out again, I'll handle it sometimes. You know, like I'll be okay with handling it sometimes. I offer. You know, at least offer. But sometimes guys are like, they're like, no, I got it, you know? And I like when a guy does that too, where he's just like, no, I got it. And then I'm like, oh, okay, you know? You just let him do it. Because then you're like, this is nice getting spoiled sometimes. But I've also, like for you and me, for example, sometimes I'm like, what are you doing? Like I smack the thing away and I'm like, I'm paying this time. I'll handle it. I'll take care of you. Okay. And then like, I'll do it with the guy I'm talking to too sometimes. Like sometimes he didn't even notice and I'm just kind of like, when he was buying a book one day, and I was just kind of like, he didn't even see me take out my card. I was just like, be gone! My card. Okay. And then he was like, oh, you bought me this book. And I said, yeah. And then, you know, I got you. Okay. Yeah. And then it makes you feel good, too, as a guy.
Exactly.
Because you're just kind of like, oh, she took care of me this time.
Right. So she actually showed interest.
Yeah.
Right? Hold on. Cue. Oh, fuck, what's it? Flashback. You were on a date. You finished your dinner. You're getting ready to pay. Your significant other offered to pay. What do I do? I was like, no, baby, I'm fine. I'll pay for you. And she said, no, I'll pay for you. I'm like, no, I'll pay for you. And she's like, no, I'll pay for you. I'm like, no, I will pay for you. And she's like, no, I'll pay for you. I'm like, what would you do? What would you do? I will fucking pay for you. Okay. I will pay for you. Shut your ass down. I'll pay for you. It's my turn. Okay. It's my turn. Let me pay for you. Shut up, all right? Let me have my ego. Wait, okay. So on, I think it was like the last podcast, I asked a question very similarly, where if you go on a date with your girlfriend, right, and she offers to pay for your food, what would you do? Kind of similar to what we were doing earlier with the game, where like, you know, you gave me a scenario, but I was like, no, let me pay for it. And she was like, no, let me pay for it. I was like, no, let me pay for it. She's like, no, I want to pay for it. I'm like, no, let me pay for it. This is
starting to sound like Asian parents when they try to pay for the bill.
Yeah, like, Jesus Christ, lady. If a man say he'll pay for it, just let him pay for it. All right?
Yeah. I'll ask twice. Okay. That's the most thing. Be like, you know, I got it. If you want me to get it, I'll get it. Oh, I usually ask. I'm like, hey, do you want me to pay for the bill? They say no. I'm gonna be like, are you sure? That was my second time asking. Okay. Are you sure? They say no. I'm like, I'm good. I'll pay for the bill. I'll pay for you. I'll take care of you. Then I'm gonna be like, all right, I asked twice. They said no twice. Okay. I'm done asking. So I'm like, cool, thanks. Okay. You know, that's all you say. Thank you. Right. And then sometimes if they're like, oh, you got me? Nani? Okay. You know, like the guy sometimes they'll be like, okay.
You know what? I think that is like the equivalent of a man opening a door for you, because like you would think that it's normal, but like it doesn't happen that often where women pay for the man, like, you know.
It doesn't happen that often either.
Right.
You know.
So you know what? Perfect segue, because another topic I want to talk about is, as a woman, how do you score a second date with a man? First one, easy. Right? Easy in the bag. So the problem becomes like, how do you get a second date as a man if it's the guy that you're interested in? Right? Yeah. So let me go through, right? So how do you score a second date with a guy? You have to treat it like an interview. Right? Not in a sense where like
well, the like first date is kind of like an interview already.
Right, but the problem is I've gone on dates, or like I talked to women where they go on like this whole fucking monologue about their whole life story, saying, look, I traveled, I did this, I went this, and then like she never bothered to ask questions to like to me, or like, let's say like to the guy that she's going on a date with. That's like a huge turnoff for a guy. Because when you go into a monologue rather than a dialogue and talking to the guy, it kind of feel like you just talk just to talk. And you get a meal, and the guy got nothing back. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So monologue, don't fucking do that. Second thing you gotta do is you gotta stroke his ego. That's so easy, dude. I was thinking like, if I were to wake up tomorrow and I was a woman, dude, I can score dates easily, because like in my head it's so easy. Stroke a guy's ego, compliment him, like, oh, what's up, big boy, do little things. So like that's how he knows that you're actually interested in him, because like if we're just friends, we don't do that, because that's if you do that, you kind of showing more interest than is appropriate. But if you're trying to go for a second date, men are very egotistical creatures, so you stroke his ego, right? Be a little sexual. don't go around with like, see-through, tank top and all that stuff. Don't be too sexual. Just like a little skin, here and there. And then like, because you don't do that around your friends. You do that around like, people that you're trying to like, I don't want to say mate, but the person that you're trying to, impress.
Yeah.
Right. So like, how do you get a guy's attention? Just like a little hint. Don't go overboard. You go overboard, you look like a slut. Don't do that.
A little taste.
Yeah. Have a little class, right? So there's two other concepts, right? So the R word, I'm not gonna say it, right? So it's an acronym, right? These are the 4 things you don't want to talk about. You don't want to talk about religion, abortion, politics, and economics. If you talk about any of those topics with the guy, it's a turn off. Don't first date, second date, don't talk about that, right? Just remember the acronym. It's a bad word. Don't talk about those 4 topics. What you do want to talk about is Ford, not the company, but it's the acronym. Family, orientation, recreation, and dreams. Right?
That is good.
So you want to get to know him, because like what kind of question do you ask the guy to get to know him better? You remember the acronym Ford. Right?
I like that. I never thought about that. That's really good. But when you first start the interview / the first date, you do talk about family. You do talk about like, what are your goals in life?
Right.
I asked about that, like, at least. I'm just like, what are your goals? How's your family like? How many sisters do you have?
Right.
How many brothers do you have? Do you have siblings?
Right.
Like, I don't know anything about you. I would like to know more about you. And then I always like break the ice this way. I always ask people like, what's your spirit animal? Like, what is your favorite animal?
Right.
Or whatever. This is how I always ask.
Always have like the backup question in case.
Yeah, I was like, what is your favorite animal? And,
right.
And then I ask them, I think I've asked you this before too. I'm like, what's your favorite animal? And then you tell me, oh, yours is a sloth, obviously.
Right.
And then I'll be like, why? And then you'll be like, oh, because of
XYZ, and then their character comes out.
And then you ask them, okay, this is the reason, is because this is why, whatever you feel towards that spirit animal is what you see in your partner.
Really?
Yes. So like, so if a guy says, oh, I like a butterfly, that's my favorite animal, and I like them because they are quiet and they're just beautiful, they're good to look at. Okay. That's already a red flag. You're just kind of like, I don't want to be with this guy.
Yikes. I like elephant because I like big trunks. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I'm not going to tell you my favorite animal because, but that's like one of the icebreakers. I always ask the person, like, what is your favorite animal? Why?
Okay.
And then I can like kind of see what they're like without, it's like a little trick. You're just kind of like, what are they? What are their personalities like? What do they see in a partner?
Okay.
And if it's not you, like if it doesn't describe you in any way, then you're just like, okay, this might not work. And then you might not get a second date from me because of that answer.
Really? That easy?
Usually.
What?
Yeah.
That's not fair.
No, it's fair.
What?
It's fair.
You can't judge him based on his like spirit animal, but
or just animal in
or
general.
His animal.
If you explain why, and it's like a bad reason why, or like a weird thing why, then I'd be like, this isn't gonna work. This is gonna be I'm good.
Okay. Okay.
Or you'd be like, oh, I like this animal because they're dumb. Because I'm like, that sounds bad. I don't know. It's stuff I was thinking about.
Okay.
But, one of the other red flags is like people giving mixed signals.
Oh, dude, shit. Okay. Elaborate.
Okay, so like I have this one friend. That's a good friend. She's been dating this guy for a while. Okay. But when they are out and he's introducing her, it's like, this is my lady friend. I like her very much.
Okay.
But then he also will give her the key of his house. They have
intimate
moments, a lot of that, and like they go to church together. But I'm also just your lady friend,
So have they ever made it official?
No, he hasn't asked her.
Well, there you go.
He hadn't asked her, but he's giving you mixed signals. It's just kind of like, do you want me around or do you not? Well, but you're also giving me the key to your house. And then, but when she says, I love you, he looks at her and just smiles. She's said, I love you. Okay. But he has not.
So can I ask where they are now?
Same situation.
Okay. So the way I would tackle the situation is goes back to what I was saying earlier. It's like when you date people, do you have intention of dating them, or do you have intention of like long term being with this person?
Yeah. Well.
Right. So if, for example, if I want to make X amount of salary, right, and I work for this company, and then they promise, and I tell them like, hey, look, I want to make this much, and they're like, yeah, you'll make it someday. And I was like, no, I need a solid answer. And like, am I gonna get what I need, what I want from you? If not, I'll go somewhere else.
Yeah.
Why am I waiting around hoping that one day that like this person will know what I truly want? Especially if she never verbalized like what she wanted.
Yeah.
You know, if she never verbalized that she wanted this relationship, then she's never gonna get it.
Yeah.
If you never verbalize you want a marriage, you're never gonna get it. And in my opinion, it's both people's job, but it's also the woman's job to like demand that of the man. Right? Because would you rather be a baby mama, or you rather like, you know, have a kid with someone that you want to marry?
Yeah.
You know, so like
That's
if you ever want kids, don't get kids before you marry.
Yeah.
Right?
You date to marry. You say that
it changes the way you think, you know, because like again, if a problem comes up, are you thinking it from like, oh, this is gonna be short term, not just leave, or you can think about long term, and then like, you know, your action will guide you accordingly.
Yeah.
Right.
But when you're in a mixed situation with mixed signals and all that stuff, it becomes a situationship. Some people call it that now because they don't know what they are at that point. And then they ask you like, well, she's asked him, what are we, you know? And then he's just like, you know, you're my lady friend that I do things with, and, you know, but someday, you know, I would like to be in a relationship with you. And it just doesn't make sense if you're dating so many months in, and then you're just telling them, Because if they are not official, then he could have other lady friends. Yeah.
That shows that he doesn't have any commitment to, because he doesn't have commitment to that lady.
Yeah.
Can I call her that lady, that your friend?
Yeah, my
your friend.
Lady
yeah,
friend.
so he doesn't have any commitment to her, so that really frees him up to like do the same thing to other women.
Yeah.
So I was dating.
I told her that too. I was just like, girl, are you sure you don't have somebody around?
Because if he talks to another girl, like what is she supposed to do?
Yeah.
She can't do anything because they're not official. And the thing is if she doesn't make it official, then he can do wherever he wants technically.
Yeah.
But if he doesn't want that, and like he actually wants to be committed, then he would have said something by now.
Yeah. Agreed.
So.
But yeah, that's like, I don't know. I try to give her advice and just be like, you know, I hope the best for you. I'm not going to get into it, but if it doesn't progress and it's been months and you guys are still not in a relationship and you're not girlfriend, boyfriend, I would leave.
Yeah.
I'd be like, all right, this isn't going anywhere. We have no future.
Right.
So let's squash it.
Right.
You know? Ooh.
Yeah, I don't know. I like to have something to fidget with, and I saw this thing, and like I thought it was pretty cool.
You got a moon in your hand.
Yeah.
Instead of the world in your hand.
Yeah. I wish it was warm. That would have been cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah. So I mean, as a friend, like, what can you do?
Yeah.
You know, I try to stay out of the way of people's relationship, because it's really none of my business.
Yeah, but you are there morally to support them. You're just like, you know, I'm here as your friend, and I love you. You know, I'm here if you need advice, but I'm not gonna butt in if you don't need it. You know? Right. Like you've been in a situation where like someone is like having relationship issues, and no matter how much you help them, they don't change it. Yeah. So like, I'm not gonna waste any more of my breath if you're not gonna like make a change. You can give them advice all you want, but initially it's their decision. It's their path.
I'd be like, run, bitch, run! No.
But sometimes, like, okay, this goes to the toxic bond thing.
Okay.
With healthy and toxic relationships. Okay. That's something I wanted to talk to you about too. Okay. There's this relationship coach named Josh.
I'm just Josh.
I don't know his last name.
My name is Josh.
I don't know his last name.
Do you have a last name? No, I'm just Josh.
He's just Josh.
I'm joshing you right now. Yes. What?
But he discusses, like, this is on TikTok. He discusses about, like, you know, if you're in a trauma bond relationship. And he's talking about, like, okay.
Oh, I know. Okay.
If you're playing catch with somebody, right? He talks about you're playing catch with somebody and they're your partner. And, like, I hand you the ball. You catch the ball. You throw it back at me, right? Right. So we just keep playing ball and we catch it and whatnot. That's a healthy relationship. Yes. Okay. So he says once in a while, somebody will drop the ball. And he's saying that means, you know, you can pick it up and continue playing catch and throwing it back and forth, because sometimes relationships aren't perfect and you make mistakes and you pick it up and you start over.
Right.
And if you continue to reciprocate it, it still stays healthy. Right. But then once in a while you will reach a toxic relationship where you will throw a ball at somebody, your partner.
Okay.
And they catch it, but they don't throw it back.
Right.
They put it in a bag next to them.
Right.
And then you're just kind of like, are you not going to throw it back at me?
Right.
And then they stop. Like in the beginning, they were playing catch with you, but then they stopped doing it. And then you pick up another ball, like the other partner that is trying picks up another ball and I throw it at you. This is like a visual thing.
Right.
You still throw it in the bag. You don't throw it back at me. Eventually, what am I going to do? I'm going to give up.
Yeah.
I'm going to be like, all right, you don't want to play with me? Fine. I'm going to stop playing with you. I walk away. I try to walk away.
Okay.
And then you're like, wait, don't walk away. I got plenty of balls in my freaking bag. So you pick up one finally and you throw it at me.
Right.
And then I catch it. And then I'm like, oh, he wants to finally play with me. You're giving me a little attention. All right, I want to play with you now. So I throw it at you. You will throw it. You'll throw it back. It reciprocates. It goes back.
Right.
The same cycle. Same toxic cycle. And then basically Josh, the coach, said that person will eventually just be like, constantly cause that toxic trauma bond. And you just be, the cycle repeats and you're just upset after. You just keep getting upset. And then basically he said, find somebody that will play catch with you.
Yeah.
So that's the whole thing. And it just becomes like, there's a word for it. I said it earlier to you. Do you remember what I said?
I said a lot of things. What do you mean?
Not a trauma bond, but there's another, like not narcissism either. Because people are very narcissists in this world too.
Right.
I was going to say it earlier today and I forgot what it was.
I mean, can you give me a better context?
I can't remember.
But yeah, that sounds like a very unfair relationship.
Yeah.
Right? So I think that, does that have anything to do with like one of the 5 love languages in a sense? Because of the way I was looking at it is like, okay, I show you, I'm a gift giver, for example. I'm not, but I'm just saying in this example, I'm a gift giver, and I shower you with all these gifts, and at first you give me all these gifts, but like you only did it because to reciprocate what I was trying to give you, like the love, the attention, all that stuff through all my gifts. But if that's not your love language, it doesn't come to you naturally to give the gift. So how do you respond to showing love? I will give you my quality time, and I will do all these things with you because that's my love language. So the person that is a gift giver doesn't take the quality time as like a sense of love, because like they're practically speaking Chinese and English. Yes. One person is saying I love you one way, the other person is saying I love you the other way, but they're not getting the message that like I'm trying to show you, because they don't speak the same language. Right? So I mean, that's not exactly to the point you were saying, but that's part of the factor. Right? Because in relationship, you have to know your own love language and able to express that to your partner, so they wouldn't like try to show you love the way that you want. And you also have to learn how the other person receive and express their love, so you can recognize it instead of like throwing it off. Yeah. For example, like I was saying with a gift giver, I would give whatever flower that my significant other wants, right? Thinking like, hey, I'm showing my love, but the other person like, oh wow, cool flower. All right, on to the next thing, because they don't even process it, because that's not their love language. The flower doesn't mean that like, oh, you love me. It's just a gift, something that's just took up space in my room. There are people that are like that. So. Yeah,
but like I said earlier, like sometimes one partner will try and the other partner won't. So like, say if you tell me your love language is acts of service, right? For example, I don't really show my love language that way, and I don't know how. So I asked you, how would I fill your love tank?
Right.
How do I fill up your love tank with your love language? Because I don't know how to show you, because you're basically teaching me that language. And then I give effort to try to learn. Like if you say, oh, I like it if you make my coffee, that's an act of service.
Okay.
Or I like it when you do my laundry and hang them up in color coordination, because that's how I like it. Then I'd be like, all right, that's what I like. That's my love language.
Okay.
And that's good examples, because then you'd be like, oh, sweet. Now he told me how to do it, so now I can do it.
Right.
And now I can show him that I love him. Because you described it. You can say it. I've heard some women that are like, man, they're in a relationship for a long time, and then they're like in the kitchen and they're like cleaning and doing everything, and their husband's on the couch watching football, and they're getting angry and angry every day because they see it. They see their husband on their couch listening and doing TV stuff.
Okay.
And then my clients or whatever, they'd be like, hey, I'm getting more angry because they're not doing anything. They're not helping me and this and that. So I say, are you telling them? Are you expressing, how you're feeling? And then they're like, no. They should know.
No.
My husband should know.
Nope.
Yada, yada, yada.
Nope.
I'm like, you're not communicating.
Yes, I agree.
How are they supposed to know? Like,
they're not mind readers?
Yes. You're not a mind reader. Right. I'm not a mind reader. I don't know what you're saying to me. Like, I don't know what you're thinking.
Right.
So I said it like this. This is how I described it to my client. I said, okay, imagine they're downstairs in the garage, whatever. They're in the garage and they're working on the car. And they're getting frustrated at you because you're in the kitchen doing what you're doing, but I need help in the garage with my car, and I would love to have an extra hand, but they're getting mad at you because you're not out there helping them,
Okay.
But if they came into the kitchen and be like, hey babe, I need an extra hand and I need help in the garage.
Okay.
Even though you don't know much, like I don't know much about cars, but if my husband, significant other, partner, whatever, will come in the kitchen with me or come in the bedroom and just tell me, hey, I need help.
Right.
I'll teach you what I'm doing. Then I'd be like, okay, let me do this really quick, and then I'll come down and I'll help you.
Right.
You're communicating with me. You're telling me exactly like what you want.
Okay.
I like that. If you because we can't read each other's minds. If I need help with the kitchen, I would tell you.
Right.
Like, hey, you want to help me cut up some onions and this and that, And then they say, oh, sure, like I don't mind helping you. But if that person, your partner, is giving you an attitude, like, you really need help?
Right.
You really want me to do something for you? Then that's a problem.
Right.
Then it's an issue. Because if they're huffing and puffing and they don't want to help you, you can cook your own damn dinner. I'm not cooking you shit. I'll be like, at that point,
Right.
Like, then it becomes toxic towards each other.
Oh, okay.
Because you're not helping each other.
Right.
Like, you're in a relationship to help each other.
Right.
You're in a relationship because you love each other. Because if you don't do that, then you're like, do you really love me? Do you really like each other at that point? I don't think so. Right? Am I wrong?
No, I follow you. And so whenever a situation like this comes up, it's more than what is on the surface layer. Right. So in the example you're given, so the man is not in the kitchen enough to help her out, and the woman is not in the garage helping the man out, right? So on the surface level, it's the kitchen and the garage, right? But below the layer, it sounds like both people want more time with each other, so that's why they're trying to get the other person go into to spend more time. Right. And when you start thinking about like the deeper layer, okay, what is the underlayer issues of like the problem I have right now, and start tackling that instead of like, the surface level, that's how you kind of get over problems in relationship. And I've experienced this. I hope you've experienced this too. But let's say you have an issue with your significant other, right? And let's say that you talk about it, it never got resolved. But the underlayer issue got resolved. So even if they're still not in the kitchen, even if they're still not in the garage, I don't care anymore. My underlayer issue has already been resolved.
Yeah.
So like I was like, I don't give a fuck anymore.
Yeah.
So an example, let's say that like some guy is like lacking intimacy or whatever. So he's complaining about like having he's missing the the intimacy moments with his wife, but underneath that, maybe he's actually just saying that he just wants to spend more time, more physical connection with her. So this happened to me. So I would complain about that, and then like I didn't really get to that level that I was talking about, but I got the level of affection, and then I was able to express the underneath layer of my problem, and I was like, I don't care if we don't have sex for like a day, whatever. You gave me the physical bond that I needed, and then like I don't give a fuck about that anymore. Like that shit doesn't matter. For an example, so whenever people complain, you try to look at a layer underneath it. There's always some kind of like disconnect between like communication or like contact, or it could be anything. It's never the issue on the surface level. It's not about the I don't know. Anyways, I'm just repeating myself at this point. But yeah.
But do you agree? Like communication is key.
It is
a main key of a relationship. If you don't have communication with any relationship, you can be like family, friends, partner. It doesn't have to be just a relationship.
Right.
Like if I don't communicate with my family, they don't know where I am or what I'm doing. So they would like to know. Just like that, you communicate.
Right.
So if I want something, I'll tell you.
Right.
So, but it works out. It levels out. I feel like if you just tell them and try to understand why or what you're doing and what you want, it works out most of the time.
Mm-hmm.
Like, but if you don't say anything, how am I supposed to know? That's the key factor. You know?
Yeah. So not gonna get you personal, but I do remember you were complaining about that with certain stuff, and so and I get it. You're right. Communication is important. Mm-hmm. So when the other person is thinking that everything is okay when it's not okay, it's like that you didn't realize it was your house was on fire this whole time. You think everything was just smooth. You never.
Oh, I love that analogy.
You know what I'm saying? Like I'm tapping you on the shoulder, like, hey,
that's on fire.
It's on fire. Come on.
Shit.
Yeah. Shit.
Then they'll be like, oh shit, it's on fire.
Yeah.
I get it. Yeah. You need to communicate and tell.
You know what's crazy though?
What?
It's almost an hour.
It's almost an hour?
Yes, because every time we do these podcasts, I get like long. It's longer than I had initially expected because I only wanted about like an hour.
Yes.
But like every time it happens, like bro, an hour just passed. Feel like we just talked for like 20 minutes.
It feels like it. It's
right?
Just, like because we keep going on and on and on about.
No, but I think I got what I wanted to say. Like the beta male orbiter, the how'd you get a score second date with a man. There was a couple points that I missed. I forgot. If you are not interested in this guy, do not go out on the first date. Do not go out on the second date. Right? And if you do want to go out on the second date, verbalize it. Because the reason why I started this whole second date thing, because I hear a lot of women complaining about like, oh, why did he ghost me and all this stuff. I'm like, well, did you do anything I just said? I mean, I just said it, but like, just keep it in mind going forward and like do what I say and like give it a shot and like prove me wrong. And if I'm wrong, you let me know. But I'm telling you, this is scientifically proven by everybody from the scientific community that it will work. I was kidding, but you get my point. Just give it a try. Give it a try.
Give it a try on a first date.
Yeah, first date, second date. Yeah, like men are very simple. Just show them that you have interest in them. Try to be fair. Try to, if you don't want to go on a second date with a guy, pay for your own food. Because you make him pay for it, and it creates like a power imbalance where like it feels like you owe him something, and then like that's a very bad start off.
Well, if I don't know the person that well, I'm just gonna be like, all right, he's gonna pay for dinner, and I'll never see him again. That's how it is sometimes. Okay. I've been on a date before, and the date was great. So I thought. The date was great. We talked like maybe an hour, like not even an hour. I think it was 2 hours.
Ooh,
we had dinner.
Okay.
We had dinner for 2 hours. And then the next date, we were like, oh, let's do this again. We'll meet for like a movie.
Okay.
And then the day when I was just like, all right, we're going to go to the movie. I texted him. I said, I got us a blanket and yada, yada, yada. And he was just like, actually, I'm not feeling that well. He's like, I'm not feeling good. And then I said, okay. So I texted him the next day and said, I hope you're feeling better. Like keep me updated, yada, yada, yada. Mm-hmm. He never texted me again. I got ghosted. And it happens.
It does.
Yeah. Then you're just like, all right, it wasn't meant to be. And then move on.
Yeah.
Because if I got stuck with that person, then I wouldn't be where I am today.
Yeah.
Much happier.
Good. Very good. Yeah. No, you want to deal with people that are kind of flaky. That's actually one of the red flag. People that like habitually cannot meet you there. Mm-hmm. They're always like got some kind of excuse. Like even though they think that they're valid, the fact that like you prioritize someone else over me shows that like you don't really prioritize my time.
Yeah.
When I'm prioritizing my time to spend it with you.
And I've ghosted a few people for myself too because I was talking to somebody else. And then I'm just kind of like, all right, I'm liking this person way more than this person, so I ghost them. But that was just the past. That's how it was when you're like in the dating game. Mm-hmm. You don't know who you're going to be with. You're just dating around to see what works for you.
Right.
Who works better. You're not committed to anybody at that point. You're just dating. You know? And some people are like, oh, like, should you tell that person that you're dating, that you're mainly dating? And then you're like, no, because you haven't settled down yet with that person. I don't know if that makes sense.
It doesn't.
It doesn't.
It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make any damn sense in my head.
Okay, if you're not like official.
Yeah.
Like my friend I was telling you about.
Okay.
She's not official.
Okay.
But her friend, I guess, I don't know. If she was dating around, he would care.
Yes.
He would care.
Men would care. That's what I'm trying to say.
But at the same time, she's saying like
what she's doing does not make sense. She's gaming the system. So she's going around and taking advantage of all these guys to pay for her food. That's what I'm saying. So that's not right. That's not how it should be. Like that's why.
Oh,
I have to say no. I'm gonna have to say this for another day. I'm gonna.
We're getting longer than.
I'm gonna have to say this for another day.
That
but
was
like,
a heated situation.
I'm just.
It depends.
I hear cases like this where women are like taking advantage of men, and like when I said like Tony's Temple is a men's advocate, I hear stuff like this. You know, like it would angers me.
It would only make sense, like, okay, if I'm seriously talking to somebody, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm trying to date around, that's wrong.
Yes.
But if I'm just dating, like on Tinder or whatever.
But why are you paying for the meals, or is everyone paying for your meal? That's the question.
I would say yes, because you don't know what you.
No, if you don't have interest in this guy, then.
No, but what if you do? You're not sure because you're like, I'm just trying to see what I like. That's if you don't have a main person. You know what I'm saying? No,
that's what I'm saying. If you're not interested in this person, then you should pay because like.
I think that's controversial. I don't know. Like.
Yeah.
I say if you're dating and you're trying to get to know a person, and you don't know, you're not officially with anybody yet. That's what I'm saying.
Okay. Oh, no. Okay. Let's flip the script.
Okay.
In the parallel universe, the roles are reversed. You, a woman, you're welcome to date as many men as you want, but you have to pay for every man. Would you do it?
If I am dating
yes.
and I'm putting myself in that position where I'm dating to try to find somebody,
yes,
then yes.
So you would pay for all these people that you're dating.
Because if I'm working and I have the money to do it, that's why some people won't date right now because they don't have the money.
Yeah, it's expensive.
Yes, it's expensive. But if you have the money and you want to date, you're putting yourself in that position. Because you're trying to find the person. You're trying to find your one. Women are also trying to find their one.
But my point is, yes, you can expand your options, but you should not be taking advantage of these men and looking at them as if they're free meals. That's all I'm saying.
It depends on the person.
No, because I don't expect a woman to pay for my meal ever, no matter what universe I'm in. Like if I'm interested in you, like okay, I'm down to pay for you. But if you don't have any interest in me, let me know, we'll split it.
I think it's a respectful thing too. Like guys will go out and they will pay because they want to show that they respect that person. Right. You know?
So what does a woman do to reciprocate? And I gave you a list of things you can do.
And women will also say it at the end too. Some women will. Mm-hmm. They'd be like, "Do you want me to split the bill, or do you want how would you like to do this?"
Right.
At the end,
right.
I usually ask. I mean, like, "How do you want to pay?" Mm-hmm. Like the person I'm talking to.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure I asked him when we went out. I was like, "Do you want me to pay for this?"
That's good. That's very rare, by the way.
Or like half. How do you want to do it? And he said, "I got it." And then I said, "Oh, okay."
Okay.
You know, but I always ask anyway to be respectful.
Good.
And I've only been on a few dates.
That's fine.
And that's how it was. But with the person I'm talking to, it's like, he's my main now. Okay. I'm just kind of like, I don't see anybody else.
Good.
It's just him.
Okay.
And that's all I see.
Good.
You know?
As it should be.
Yes.
Yes.
And then, but for some women that are still dating and going on Tinder and all stuff, that's what they're doing.
I know. And it's a problem, and that's all I'm saying.
But I don't know if they are asking the men.
They're not.
But
they're kind of expected.
They expect it.
I saw this TikTok of a girl going out on a date with a guy. She brought 18 of her friends, and she expected him to pay for all of her friends.
Oh, hell no.
Yeah.
Really just should have paid for all of our food.
For one, I'm not paying for everybody's food. It's your birthday, cool, but I'm not doing that. It's 18.
Why don't you gotta pay for all y'all food though?
You brought 18 friends. I'm finna leave you. You staying here with them or you coming with me?
Nobody wants a broke nigga.
I know, bro!
If that's something like, if it was reversed, I'd be like, you're out of your mind.
Yeah.
You're out of your mind.
Yeah.
I would be like, no, get the hell out.
Yeah.
No. I'm not doing that. I'd walk out.
Yeah.
I'd be like,
Bye.
This is a red flag.
Yeah.
This whole thing.
Look, yeah. Oh my god, I cannot believe shit like this happens, man. It's insane.
Does happen.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't know, like, as a respect thing too. Like, it's just if I show you in the beginning of the date, like, okay, this is going well. I kind of like you. Mm-hmm. I want to respectfully ask you.
Yes.
Because that means I show you some respect in this level, even though I don't know you a lot, but I kind of know you now because we're going on a date.
Mm-hmm.
And then if I show you, okay, this is the meal. How would you like to split it?
Right.
Do you want me to pay? You want, like, how you want to pay?
Right.
And then, like, maybe in the next one, I'd be like, oh, since you paid for me, you can say it too.
Yes.
Personally, like, communication goes back.
Right.
I'd be like, hey, next time when we go out, I'm paying.
Good.
I'm like, I've done that to you too. Like,
yeah.
I'm like, it's your freaking birthday.
Yeah.
Who's paying? This
I remember
girl.
that. Yeah, I know.
I'm paying. You know, like, I'm gonna take care of you because then next time, my birthday, you take care of me.
Right.
It's both ways.
It's coming up in a couple months. I know.
Yeah, but I still need to take you to your birthday.
Yeah.
Oh, I remember what I was gonna talk to you about earlier too.
Okay.
Trauma bond.
Ooh.
That's what I was gonna tell you about.
Okay.
And I was just kind of like, oh, trauma bond.
Okay. So after this, let's wrap it up.
Yes,
and,
we're gonna
I completely lost track of time.
I lost track of time.
Yeah.
We talked so much.
Yeah, I know. Like it's just like it's just my brain just keeps on going. Like I can't stop. Okay.
Waka.
Yeah.
Trauma bond is kind of like this is how I explain it. When you throw a little bit of love. And then you're like, oh, I love you some. And then, like, you get used to the toxicity. And then you're like, it's like an addiction.
Right.
And then you're like, oh, I remember when that person loved me some. I was in a trauma bond where I remembered, oh, he loved me at one point. But then he yells at me all the time. And then when you have to remember the good times, that's bad.
Right.
And other people around you will see the trauma and they'll be like, girl, you need to get out. Or, boy, you need to get out.
Right.
But they're like, but I'm in love. I'm stuck in this trauma bond because sometimes they give me love. I remember when they gave me love, but
it's codependency.
Yeah.
Lack of self-esteem. On top of that, you feel like you don't have any self-worth until like this is the only person that values me because they're the only person that ever treated me good, except all the other times they didn't, and they forget about that part.
Yeah.
Right.
And then that's not good.
Yeah.
And then you're used to it, and you're just dang, I'm stuck.
Yeah, and humans are very attached creatures. Mm-hmm. So like even with pets, like you're always going to be attached to the person or the living thing that you spend most of your time with, and then like it's really hard to split it. Mm-hmm.
The relationship becomes like
even if my cat pisses on my carpet or like throws up on my couch, like I have to love you. I can't be mad.
I can't be mad at you. I love you still.
But like imagine that 20 times worse, but with another human being, where they start pissing on your floor and start.
Oh hell no.
I'm just saying, like people, shit like that happens. I'm just saying.
Or like I don't know. I've seen people like get mad and put like trash all over the house and not clean, and they're just like, dang, I would like you to clean. And they're communicating, and they're telling them, but they're not changing. They choose to not change, and they're like, well, you got to deal with me. You picked me, so I'm gonna keep doing it.
What?
Yeah, then your relationship becomes more stifling.
Yeah.
And then you're like, all right, you either stay with that person and deal with it, or you leave. It's one or the other. Or the person actually tries and fixes it, but sometimes they don't.
On a final note, this is why dads vet the men that their daughter dates. Because sometimes women just judge men based on their favorite animal. When things that are actually important is the way the man treats them, and like sometimes women don't see that, and the dad is like, I see you're being a piece of shit, you're treating my daughter wrong, and she thinks that you're cool because you like butterflies.
No.
I'm saying like I can see through your bullshit.
I'm
just saying.
My dad can see something right off the bat on somebody, and he's like, oh, I don't like this person.
Yeah.
Because of this, and then he'll kind of like he will keep it to himself until later. Like he won't really tell me until it's all done and over with, and he's just like, I never liked that person. And I'm like, Dad, why didn't you tell me, Dad?
Damn
why
it.
didn't you tell me, Dad? I would have got rid of him a long time. Would you though?
No, you probably wouldn't. No, you probably
that's
wouldn't.
What like you wouldn't. I don't know.
I've been in something similar. Like, I'm not gonna say his name, but I think you know who I'm talking about. Like, a lot of people gave me warning about, hey, don't hang around this guy. He's a douchebag. He's kind of a dickhead. I was like, no, he's a good friend to me. And then, like, I kind of got fucked over, and I should have just listened to people saying, like, don't hang out with this guy. He's a bad dude.
Yeah, you find out
later. But then you
later.
realize, like, oh wow, my friends were right the whole time. You know, like,
Yeah.
it happens to everybody.
But you don't know until you're in it.
Right.
Like,
That's what I'm saying.
Later on, usually. But the people outside, they see it first.
Yeah.
And then because they're not in it.
Right.
And then they're like, oh, this person's stealing from you. This person is doing this. I know who you're talking about. And then it just adds up. And then you're like, you get so mad. You're like, what?
Fuck that guy, man.
Yeah.
Man, fuck that guy, man.
Oh, yeah, double times. Don't like
We
that
go
guy
way
either.
back, man. That's so
Oh,
funny.
yeah.
We go
I'm just
way
like,
back.
I don't like that guy either.
Like,
I
damn.
have that guy.
Piece of shit ass.
He really is.
Dickhead. Okay.
He's
Okay,
in Vegas
but-
now.
But yeah, okay, cool. Well, I think
And then we wrap it up.
wrap it up.
This
wrap
was so
it
much
up.
fun, Lee.
Yeah. It's fun?
Fun.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me. This
Yeah.
was such an honor.
Thanks for making the time, you know, and like I finally understand from a woman's perspective a little better now.
Yeah.
You know, cool. And I appreciate you sharing your knowledge, and hopefully I did something useful and actually spread some good information or something. I don't know.
I like how like every like man friend that I've had, when I say something, I'm like, oh, I do it this way, and they're like, man, you're just a different breed. You're just different. I'm just kind of like, why does everybody say that about me? Now I know. I'm just kind of like, oh, not all women do that, really?
Yeah. 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 I mean, yeah.
That's pretty crazy to me. I don't know. I feel like my sister would do the same thing that I do because we were kind of raised like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
Crazy. Different things, different aspects.
Yeah. Well,
But
that's
yeah,
how it is.
I
So,
appreciate you, definitely.
Yeah. Next time? Got you next time?
Yeah, I
whatever.
hope so. Maybe with more people.
Yeah, I'm down.
Yeah.
Okay.
That would be
cool.
fun.
All right, wraps it up then.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Thanks, Lee.
Yeah.